Okay, we are live. I'm getting on just a few minutes early. So you're going to want to go ahead, if you're watching the replay, you're going to want to go ahead and fast forward it just a few minutes, just so that you're not stuck watching all of the initial setup. But I like to go ahead and get on. If you're just joining us, welcome to Mentors and Mastermind Monday live, where we come together and collaborate. If you are wanting to join and be interactive with the video, go ahead and make the request to join as a speaker. There's also a live link in the chat room that you can utilize to join too, or if you start texting a chat message, then you can do that too. I can actually add you. So I am trying something a little unique today. I'm going to go ahead and do Facebook Live and Google Hangout at the exact same time. So it's going to be pretty interesting. Great. So Geo, I know that you are one of our amazing mentors from the Business Acceleration Summit. So I'm excited to have you join us. Geo is an absolute rock star for getting viral messages out, creating a story, really connected. So if you're joining us and want to be a part of the interaction, just go ahead and click request to be a speaker, or go ahead and if you type into the chat room, I can make the request for you. But I'm going to go ahead and type in the live link that you can join. You should be able to click on that and kind of bypass things. Also, if you want to join us on Facebook Live, that is a little bit different than what we have here, which is pretty interactive. With Facebook Live, you can go to Business Acceleration Summit, our fan page, and you will see that we are there live and running. So today, if this is your first time joining us as far as the Mentor and Mastermind, basically what we do is we bring together individuals to collaborate, to share, to mastermind, to mentor. And this is, sorry, just a second, let me mute this if I may, because I am trying to share. Oh, is that Geo that just joined us? Yay!
Hey, how are you?
Awesome.
I was on the other one and I realized I'm not where I should be.
Yes. So part of this, just to let you know, the reason that I started this is it was, and some of you may not have heard my personal story, is that I came from a background with parents that, both of them worked really, really hard, had an entrepreneur spirit, but did not have the education of an MBA. Both of them had actually dropped out of high school, and education was not at the forefront of learning to grow business or grow myself. But I was fortunate that over time to have access to just amazing mentors, individuals that believed in me, and I had this vision. Like I had this idea that I knew would make a difference in my community. It was something, some of the best ideas are things that are kind of a missing link that people need. So it was a need, and I knew how to fill it, and was just so blessed to have individuals that were able to see the vision, get behind me, and be that guide as I'm going to mute you real quick just because there's a little bit of background noise. So please, this is interactive. And the best way to get involved and the best way to get mentored is to go ahead and click the request to be a speaker, because we are here to help you, coach you, mentor you. If you want to remain silent but you still have questions, you can go to facebook.com/Business Acceleration Summit, facebook.com/Business Acceleration Summit. You can go ahead and post goal or challenge that you're having that you'd like us to strategize on, but it works best if you guys plug into the video. So I'd like to start with kind of the 4 things that I think are essential to accelerate any business. And I found that when you work these 4 things together, it just is amazing what can happen for you. And the first thing is getting a very clear, some people call it elevator pitch, I've called it your conscious calling, being able to articulate what it is that you're looking for clearly, quickly, and concisely. So, you know, I found that over the years that that's usually one of the most difficult things that people have is, you know, a lot of times they're out of sequence, they don't know what they need next. Everybody says, I just need money, I just need clients, but they really are not able to articulate what they need next. And so through this process of, you know, working with your language, being able to clearly do that, that can be, you know, you can start becoming magnetic. Lisa Nichols with The Secret says it best. She says the one thing that's standing in the way from us getting exactly what we want right now is our language. So the one thing that's stopping us from getting exactly what we want right now is our language. So how can you communicate in that way that becomes, you know, attractive, that lets people know who you are and what you're doing? And Geo's also amazing at that, but that's one of the things I've written a book called Media Magic, and I love helping people get clear on communicating what they need. So this is your opportunity to practice. This is your opportunity. It looks like Jacqueline's going to be joining us. Request to be a speaker. If you are just joining us on the Google Hangout, now on the Facebook Live, you can just type in your pitch. You know, the first thing I said to accelerate your business is your elevator pitch. So go ahead and share who you are, what you're doing, and in this format, go ahead and share what you need next. And what's so great about these Mastermind Mondays is that you have the opportunity to get free press. Those of you that don't know me, I've been able to get over $3.1 million in free press, and I love teaching people how to do the same. And even something as simple as this, you know, this event, by you sharing who you are and what you're doing and what you need, it's being broadcast to the world, not just live, but the replays. Last time we had close to 100 replays within less than 18 hours of this. So, you know, I encourage you to please share who you are, what you're doing, and what you need next. So first thing is pitch, getting clear on that. And that changes, that varies depending on the audience, depending on what you need, depending on, you know, I've been at events and we talk about that, and, you know, for fun and giggles, I've had somebody say, oh, I'm looking for, you know, my next wife, or I'm looking for somebody to take care of my animals while they're away. So in this mastermind group, obviously we have some business mentors, but, you know, maybe you need relationship help. I mean, who knows what it is, but we're here to help. So first thing is getting, you know, that clear language. The second thing is collaboration and partnerships. Collaboration and partnerships. You know, when we are truly never alone, the only thing that makes us be alone is just that thought, thinking that we're alone and that we have to do things by ourselves, because really everybody wants to be a part of a community. Everybody really has, you know, this desire to get behind a big vision. And a lot of times when we collaborate or partner with others, things can happen just at a rapid speed. I mean, it is just awesome what I've seen happen. A lot of times people say, well, how do I collaborate? What do I do? Well, it just starts with sitting down and saying, I'd like to explore, I'd like to discuss and get to know who you are and what you're doing, and just see if there's some areas that we can play together, is a word I use. My husband's like, not everybody's into playing together, but, you know, if there's things that maybe we can support each other. And believe it or not, I have found that just having that conversation, even with what we would consider to be our competitors, that there are amazing ways. I mean, just Geo, I love using you and I as an example. And again, I'm just going to go through the 4 things to accelerate business, and then we're going to open this up to the mastermind. And feel free, in the chat room, go ahead and type your elevator pitch, because I'll read that. That'll get you free publicity. But Geo and I, we do some similar services. And we're dear friends for a long time, but let me tell you, it is so great, because I've been able to call him when I need help. I've referred him clients. He's said, you know, I mean, it's amazing when we drop that belief that there's competition or that there's not enough. We can have fun and we can find ways to play together. And Geo, you're a prime example of that, and I know that you may have some things to share. So number 2, partner and collaborate. You know, find a way to go out and meet with somebody this week that you can talk to that could be a synergistic partner, somebody that, you know, depending on what it is, you know, either in your industry, maybe it's somebody in marketing. I usually, when I work with people, I sit down and go, okay, what are things that you're not necessarily good at? You know, what are things that you need to strengthen that muscle? You know, can you find people that are skilled in that area? Which leads me to number 3. Number 3 is mentors. Everybody needs mentors, coaches. You know, it's one of the greatest investments that I made was actually investing in somebody to be on my team. Now, mentors, there's mentors. You know, we do the Business Acceleration Summit. People come and the mentors are brain tithing. There's other remarkable organizations like CEO Space where you have a week long of mentors and brain tithings, or even things like this where you have people that have been successful and they're here to serve and they're here to help. So use mentors and use coaches. I know at one point in my life when, you know, I was at the top of my game, you know, I had a very large company nationwide. I had 9 people advising me while I was, you know, learning. And I have a number of mentors now, but I had one for parenting. I had one for, you know, finances. I had one for running a board. How do I run a board of directors? Marketing, even in relationships. I think in all different areas, looking at mentors and who can you work with to really help you grow and flourish. And then the 4th thing is mastermind. Mastermind. This is one of the oldest techniques of bringing people together to strategize for a problem or a common goal. Napoleon Hill did this. A number of organizations do this where people come together to strategize. Now, what that takes, which a lot of people have a challenge with, is being vulnerable and being willing to show up and being willing to share. Because I know there was a time in my life where, you know, I lost everything and I went months. And it was one of the worst mistakes that I made. I went months with, you know, having everybody see this face of, oh, yay, I'm, you know, driving a Mercedes and everything's great, while my whole entire life was falling apart. And had I been willing to be vulnerable and say, what is it that, you know, I need help right now, like I'm struggling with this, I'm, you know, this is falling apart, or that, you know, and granted, things happen for a reason, the economy shifted, there's all kinds of stuff, but I was so scared to ask for help. And so in masterminding, this is an opportunity to really share, hey, I'm struggling with this, I need support, and just trusting that there, you know, that you've shown up at the right place at the right time and people are here to help you. So if you're here today and you've shown up, then I invite you to take this opportunity to ask. I mean, even mentors have mentors and people that they mastermind, but mastermind is a specific technique of where we drop our entire agenda. Our agenda is to completely help and serve that person. You know, if you came to me and Geo said, hey, Shannon, I need help with, you know, figuring out how to read a P&L sheet. Well, ideally, I'm not going to go into a story of, you know, oh, yeah, I had to learn that once, and you know, it's not about me. It's about just throwing out ideas quickly, giving strategies, giving resources, opening up my Rolodex, you know, opening up each other's Rolodex, making those connections. So it's a time of really, there's no wrong answer. There's no, you know, it's just kind of a think tank, you know, where people are sharing information. And I love this analogy. It's kind of like you just have to imagine that you're getting, you know, sand, and in the sand it's coming through, you know, ciphering through, and whatever you don't need, let it go through, but the gems are going to stick. The gems are going to stick, and that's what you're going to use. So with that, if you're just joining us on the Google Hangout, go ahead and click. You know, it's best if this is interactive because we can really support you and focus on you. I mean, we're doing this as a mastermind, and mastermind is share with us who you're doing. So, you know, share with us how we can support you. So let me go through the 4 things, and then Geo, I'd love for you to introduce yourself real quick, and those of you that are brave enough to tap into this free publicity opportunity, because there's a replay. People want to know who you are. And I'll even, you know, we'll coach you on your pitch if you'd like. We've done the mastermind group where we're helping people with their language, because again, sometimes the language is what's stopping us from attracting what we need. So the 4 things that I think are essential to accelerating your business. First is that pitch. pitch, conscious calling, whatever it is, 30 seconds, 60 seconds max, but 30 seconds ideally, who you are, what you're doing, or what the problem that you're solving, what the solution that you are, and in this particular format, what you need next. In a lot of formats, it could be go to my website and get this free report, but in this particular format, you have the opportunity to say, I'd like support with this. The second thing is collaborate and partner. Find people to collaborate and partner with. We are in a time where if you're doing it on your own, it's really, really slow and things are not moving. We are in a time where we are being forced to play together and learn to play together, and it's happening everywhere, and those that are doing it are having amazing results. And then the third is mentors, coaches, people on your team that are on your side, and yes, some of them you pay for, some of them, it's like somebody did this post yesterday that I saw, and it said, you think an expert is expensive, imagine the cost of not, having somebody that's not qualified. It's kind of like people going to LegalZoom and trying to do legal documents when really they need an attorney. Sometimes it's a little more costly. And this, what we're doing today, this is all complimentary. This is all here for you. And then the fourth thing is Mastermind, which is what we're here to do today. So now we're going to open up to pitch. Now I'm going to share my pitch real quick, just to kind of give you an example of how short, sweet, and ideally it can be, and then we'll go through and if you are joining us via the webcam, then please put yours in there, and again, this is a great time to know who you are. So I usually say, hi, my name's Shannon Gronich. I've been able to successfully attain over $3.1 million in free publicity, and I have a simple system that teaches you how to do the same. I'm looking for authors, speakers, nonprofits, individuals that want to learn how to tap into the power of publicity and learn how to do it for themselves. Who do you know? You can go to shannongronich.com and get my 12-step power bio, which is all where it starts for free. That's Shannon Gronich, GRONICH.com, and get the first step. So it was short, sweet, and then kind of end with a call to action. I didn't have what I'm looking for next because I'm here for you, unless nobody else pipes in. But okay, Geo, your turn, if you don't mind.
Not at all.
Geo's mentor, so go ahead. Welcome.
Good afternoon. I'm getting some. Let's see here. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Good to be here. Thank you so much, Shannon, for inviting me. It's really great to have the opportunity to speak with everybody who's here and who may be watching. So good afternoon, good evening, or good morning. Depends on where you pick it up. I'm Geo Robert. I am the president of Robert and Partners. My whole idea behind public relations is that your brand is not just a logo and PR isn't just a press release. There really is so much behind branding, but it really comes down to what is your organization and what do you represent? What do people know you by? What is the experience that they've had with you with your product? How can you convey to them that you are the one? When you're telling your story, the end of it comes up and they close the book and they say, I really want to do business with that person. So branding in essence is really personal relations. When people call it public relations, I really look at it as having personal relations and building those. And I do that with my firm. I've built it on collaborative cooperation, if you will. What I decided was I wanted to have a business that was a partnership, and I wanted the best people to work with me because I am by far not the best PR guy that ever lived. I have some skills, but I also have my deficiencies, and where those are, I found the right people. I found the web developers, the content, the digital marketing folks. I've got the writers, the designers, those folks who complement what I believe is a great way to run an organization. And so we really work together. And as Shannon said, it's really about having those partnerships. It's really about collaborating. And I will tell you what, I just was pitching to a client last week, and one of the things that really made her interested was I talked about the collaborative partnerships I had. And she said, that is exactly how I have run businesses before. and how I'm trying to run this business. And so it really talks a lot, or says a lot, to the fact that you can't do it alone. And I've always said and believed, and everybody who's taught me has always said, hire the best people that you can, hire people smarter than yourself, and listen to them when they tell you something, because they know. And it's been a key to my success, and it's definitely something that I'm willing to share with people and work with people. I really specialize in the 30,000 foot level, developing the relationship with the client, getting to understand who they are, developing the programs and the plan that they need, putting together the right people, and then bringing that team together to execute it. So it's kind of my story, and I'm sticking to it. One thing I will say, do not ask me about finding a wife. I've almost 53 years, and that hasn't happened yet, so I am not the one you want to talk to. Yeah, I definitely.
Thank you. And I know that you actually have experience in politics. One of the I'm getting a little bit back here. Is also sharing a little bit of your expertise too. If you're here as a Geo, if you're in Central Florida or Florida at all, he is super connected in the area. If you're in whatsoever, oh, I'm still getting feedback here. You again. Then he would be somebody to talk to. I wanted to share, because I not only do publicity. If anybody wants to talk about raising capital, anybody wants to talk about team building, putting together business plans. One of my greatest assets is my Rolodex. So I love making connections. I'm somebody that is all about building community and providing connections. So, and Geo, I know you have all kinds of other skills too, but I add that.
Yeah, a lot of a background in government affairs, and doing a lot of work within governments and within community organizations, advocacy. Do a lot of work up in Tallahassee as far as helping create grassroots campaigns with people who need to have legislation or regulations changed, or just get the attention of their legislators. I love helping people get through the door of a representative or a senator or the governor, and having them listen to them, and they don't have $1 million to contribute to a PAC or somebody's re-election campaign. So, the people do have a voice, and I really enjoy helping them get that voice to where it needs to go.
Awesome. Great. Thank you, Geo. So those of you that are just joining us, I just wanted to kind of let you know how this works. Is we are live. I invite you to join us via the chat room, or I'm sorry, via video camera. If you are on the Google Hangout, because we are doing Facebook Live too for the first time, if you are on the Google Hangout, you can type in the Webinar Jam chat room, and I can actually do an invite to have you be a speaker. You can request to be a speaker. I believe you can click next to your name, and there's like a red thumbs up, kind of like this. Once you make that request, or in there I did post a live link, and you can click directly on that link, and that will get you video and audio. And you can, there's a place where you can kind of hide yourself. There's a button above my head where I can shut off the video, and you can still hear me talk. And so if you're in your PJs and you don't want anybody to see you, you can still do that, but still be involved interactively. So we do invite you to join us. Hi, Bill, Sterling. Hi, Caitlin. So this is a mastermind. Please type in what it is who you are, what you're doing, and what you need next. And so, Jacqueline, let's do a quick intro of you. I know you typed it, but I want you to go ahead. I want people to hear your voice. And let's go ahead and unmute you and share real quick. And then again, be thinking about a goal or a challenge that you have and how we can support you. A goal or a challenge that you have and how we can support you. But Jacqueline, let's hear your pitch.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. And now I'm still working on this. Hi, Geo. Oh, I want you to know that
Hello. Sorry, I had it on mute.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
I'm still working on this. Okay, are we ready?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, you see my papers, right? I'm Jacqueline Chandler, founder of I Am Proof Inc. I'm a certified trainer for over 30 years and a federal certified mediator. We work with underrepresented young men ages 13 to 18 that are willing to set themselves above others while on a journey to success by focusing on life skills training. These skills will help them gain self-confidence and self-determination to accomplish their life goals. I Am Proof has over 10 certified male mentors to assist these young men on their journey to adulthood and success. I Am Proof is a mobile training team that will travel to any location in Brevard County. We ask that our sponsored organizations provide the space and a minimum of 4 and a maximum of 12 young men ready to commit to accomplishing their dreams. Our curriculum addresses college preparation, self-confidence, and dress and appearance, and conversational etiquette. We present a realistic and challenging environment to a group setting and a mentor facilitator, providing an opportunity for the young men to learn from each other as well as provide feedback to one another. I Am Proof promotes responsibility, opportunity, and outcome through faith and self-determination. I am Jacqueline Chandler, and I Am Proof. You can reach me at 321-720, and our website is iamproof.net.
Okay. So right now, from that, you are looking for locations and students. Is that what I was gathering?
At the end, yes.
Okay. Hold on, sorry. Joining us here. Let me just move this real quick. Okay, so I know Jacqueline personally. I've been blessed to be able to connect with her. I just put on the Facebook live feed the Google Hangout if you want to join us via video. So there is a link there that you can click right in and join. Hi, hopefully you can do that and play with us. Geo, I'm going to mute you, and I'd love to have you give some feedback too. So, Jacqueline, go ahead.
Can I say something just because it's just top of my mind? Jacqueline, what was the last sentence that you said before you said your name? She has to unmute.
You're muted, Jacqueline.
Can you unmute her?
I can't. The mute is above your head. You just move the mouse on top of your.
Are we there?
Yes.
There you go. Okay. What? Yeah. What was the last sentence you said before your name?
I Am Proof, which promotes responsibility, opportunity, and outcome through faith and self-determination. That's what the acronym stands for.
Okay. Put that at the front.
Add that at the front?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell them what proof means.
Okay.
Because I think that's a kind of a powerful statement.
Okay.
It gets their attention. Okay, I'm good.
Anything else, Gio? Because you're good at this stuff.
No, I'd have to look at it in writing. If you want to send it to me, Jacqueline, I'm happy to take a look at it real quick.
It's in the chat room, just so you know.
Okay.
Yeah, if you can see, it's right. It's a little bit long, but it's great. You do need, Jacqueline, definitely a long one. With what's there. I'm big, and Geo, I don't know what you think about this, but kind of ending at the end with what it is you want people as far as the call to action. And we, it's kind of, it could be who do you know, or I'm looking for this. I think the details of the minimum and maximum was a little bit too much details in an environment like this. It could be relevant, obviously, and depending on the audience. So it's good that you have that there. But I don't know if it's relevant. The idea, from a publicity standpoint, is to get their attention so that they want to know more. Ideally, you know, when you do your elevator pitch or when you're on here sharing, you want them to ask you questions, you know, just pique their interest. One of the challenges that a lot of people, and again, Jacqueline, this was awesome. You're doing great. I love that you're writing it down and practicing it. Is to, you know, we tend to kind of fire hose people. And I'm not saying you're doing that, but I know in the media I tell people, be careful not to fire hose. You know, just give enough information so that they are they can pique their interest. Geo, you want to go ahead? Looks like my batteries. Geo, can you take over for a minute? My battery just came up, so there's something going on. If you want to say something.
Hey, numbskull, say something intelligent.
Yes, please.
I feel like I just walked into a Three Stooges episode. Oh, hey, Mo.
Sorry about that. I was like, oh no.
There we go. Shannon, I can't get to the other one without having that feedback thing happen, so I won't. If you can like send me over that stuff for Jacqueline, that'd be great.
Okay. Jacqueline, I don't know if you can actually cut and paste it in the other. There's a Webinar Jam chat room that's there. Oops.
Where is that?
It is on the right-hand side. For me, I see on the left-hand side there is a it says Webinar Jam on the right side, and you're able to click. At the top it says chat, then it says room, then it says polls, offers, and video. So we've got a lot of people on Facebook Live, and this one is...
Okay, I have, do you see what I have there now?
That's in the Google Plus chat room, and I can't cut and paste it for some reason. So
where is the... On the left?
It's on the right side. So if you want to mess with it for a minute, and if it doesn't come up, usually let me just explain this, and then I want to make sure that we're able to go. I've got Bill Sterling here, and I've got a couple more in the Facebook that I want to introduce. On the left side is apps. So you'll see the chat room, you'll see screen share, Q&A, and then there's one that should say Webinar Jam Studio. If it doesn't say Webinar Jam Studio, you may need to click the dots and look, but you want to open up the Webinar Jam Studio, excuse me, and on the right-hand side it'll pop up, and there's the chat room, and then that's where you can actually post that there. I went in and I said, hello, let me see if this comes up, where the live link is, and I see that we have Paula, we have Verna, we have Terry, and Herb. So Bill Sterling is here on the Facebook Live, and he is a amazing, talk about mentor for parenting, even though that's not what he's here for when it comes to a business mentor. This gentleman is a communication expert. He's actually went into where there's struggling with gangs in parts of California and helping them learn how to communicate and resolve conflict. I've been blessed to actually bring, and it's Bill Sterling, Stierle. Bill, I don't know if you can type in your website, or anybody that's joining us live, if you put in your website or elevator pitch, I'm happy to share it. But Bill is just remarkable at team building and getting that language to deal with challenges, because everywhere we go, whether it be relationships, whether it be parenting, whether it be business, whether it be business expansion, board members, communication is essential to everything, and there is always conflict. And when people think that conflict is bad, I used to think conflict is bad, and run from it, that's actually does not serve anybody. Because what I found, and I know Bill would probably agree, and Geo, and people that are, that that have experienced this is that when we run from conflict, we end up attracting it again until we learn to work through it. And I have to say some of my strongest partnerships, strongest relationships is where we've had conflict and we've both been so committed to each other that we work through it. And bringing in an expert like Bill Sterling to help learn the language of communication and active listening and resolution, like really getting that resolution mindset is one of the things that Bill's excellent at. And setting up those guidelines, because a lot of times we get into business partnerships and we're not, I love one of the things I've learned is that we get so excited that we just jump in with both feet, which is good. Enthusiasm can get us so far, but we don't set up boundaries and parameters on how to deal with conflict and how to deal with challenge and how to communicate. And so when you work with somebody, an expert in the beginning, and when you work with setting up those guidelines of how to resolve conflict, it really builds a foundation of strength so that you can build this house, you can build this board, you can build your company, knowing how to operate and play together. So I can't say enough about him. I love it. And he also has a way of helping you understand, specializes in sales and how to understand how to communicate in a way that the person will hear you. And he's on faculty at CEO Space, so we're all running around with these color codes so that we know who we are and how to communicate with each other, because Geo may like one style and Jacqueline may like another style, and I, for me, it's a little bit about fun and business and community, and so when you know how to communicate with your client, that can be great. So, all right, guys, more Mastermind. It looks like we have a question here about team building. Okay, this person is looking to hire, hold on just a second. Okay, so this person is kind of at a crossroads, and they're needing to hire somebody, but not ready to take the step. They've tried to hire somebody in the past, and sounds like you have a little bit of a, maybe didn't have such a good experience, so kind of hesitant, and also scared about the budget. And please feel free to add more if you want. I'm happy to if I'm not on the right track there. And so please interject, anybody. Again, you can comment and feedback. I'm going to go ahead and give you feedback that I know about hiring individuals. I know the scariest point of when you first hire somebody is that bridge between being a solopreneur and hiring that first person. And I had a multimillionaire give me the best advice, I thought. She said, just hire somebody for 10 hours a week. Just start out at 10 hours a week, because it's going to do a number of things. It's going to, first off, get you trained to be prepared to deal with somebody. Have them do those tasks that she's like, just make a list of all the things that you're doing right now that you could easily have somebody else do. Now, for me, I took that and I said, I've learned a lot. I'm going to tell you what I did at the time, and I'm going to tell you what I've learned since then. But at the time, I was like, oh my gosh, she could, drive and pick up my kids. She could maybe cook dinner. She could follow up on emails and maybe a few phone calls. And so I created a roadmap of what did I want this 10 hours a week to do, and pay them well. Also said pay them well, because you want them to be able to stick. But that 10-hour a week is a great bridge that I've found, and I say this to a number of people to do that. But one of the things that I think that I've learned since then is have them focus on a revenue-generating activity. Have them focus on what helps generate revenue. Now, granted, there may be tasks that you're doing, and if you're making, $100 an hour, or you're out there, if you could be out there asking for donations or pitching to a client, then obviously your time, what can they do to help you get out there and do those things. But I've learned over time that when I bring somebody on my team, I want to make sure that they're comfortable doing revenue-generating activities, because when they can do revenue-generating activities, then that can help generate revenue and help increase their hours. So just being mindful of, if there's only 10 hours a week, because believe it or not, once you do that, and I found that after the third or fourth week, I'm like, oh my gosh, now that we've gotten the flow, I could use them for 20 hours a week. Being mindful of what activities can you have them do that will help you generate revenue. Geo, do you want to add anything to that, or Bill, or anybody else that's on board here? Please feel free to share.
No, you're good on that one. That was good stuff.
Awesome. Okay. Any other questions? Who else has a goal or a challenge or something that we can support you with? What is, we're here to Mastermind. Again, if you're just joining us, it looks like we have lots of views coming in and out on Facebook Live. We have a link there that you can join us on Google Hangout, where you can actually join us via video. We've got people here on video. We have Geo Robert, who's another mentor, and basically you can either type in the chat room or you can join us live and share what's your elevator pitch, who are you. It's a free publicity marketing opportunity. You guys should be letting us know who you are, because people watch the replay, and just like Jacqueline's here with IamProof.net, which is a wonderful nonprofit. She's just plugged in and stepped up and was courageous enough to let other people know who she is. Geo Robert, which is, Geo, what's your website?
It is robertandpartners.com.
robertandpartners.com, and that's ROPERT, robertandpartners.com, and mine is Shannon Grunich, GRONICH.com. So, please, I shared the first thing with accelerating your business is being able to articulate and share who you are and what you're doing. But because this is a mastermind, we're here to help open up our Rolodex, share solutions, share ideas, and let's see who else here has something else. Okay, so here's a marketing question, Geo. We'll be able to help with this one. This individual is asking about how to actually, what's the first step for getting publicity? What's the first step for getting out there? And they have a very limited marketing budget. They're wanting to reach, get publicity. What are some things that we would suggest? So for me, and Geo, I know you have some great things to add to this. One of the first steps, if you are looking to get publicity, is I always walk people through a Power Bio system where we create your bio, make sure that you are positioned as an authority figure, even if you're starting your business and you're brand new, and there's always a way to through this cool formula. Again, it's free on my website, 12-step formula, to where we can either leverage some of your past, leverage some of the people that you're playing with, and be able to help you kind of stand out as an authority figure. So I always work with the Power Bio first, so that when people say, "Who are you?" that they want to listen, they are able to pay attention and know who you are. And then from there, it's about crafting that story. I think that they're, having that press kit ready to go is one of the first steps with getting media. So it's your press release, it's your Power Bio, it's any marketing pieces that you have in your business already. Action photos. You have to have action photos in place. So having some of that in place and just reaching out. But the first thing is developing that story. Geo, I'm going to have you add. You're next.
Yeah, those are the basics. You've got to have those things. You've got to write a press release well. What you're going to find today is that the media does not have the bandwidth that they used to, as far as reporters and folks who can really comb and do detailed work. So what you are going to be looking at is making sure that you've written a quality press release. If you can learn how to write AP style, Associated Press style, that's kind of the standard, and that's what will get you the least amount of edits. But I think one of the most important things is getting to know the media that you're going to be working with. It's so important to establish a relationship, even if it's with an initial email to that particular reporter. I mean, if you're going to a newspaper, find out the reporter who does cover your business. Don't send a business piece to the nonprofit writer, because all you're doing is sending confusing messages, doubtful that that person's going to forward. So, and media, not only the media that's in the newspapers or your traditional media, but also the bloggers. Find out who is in your industry that's an important individual. That goes for, finding some of the websites that post a lot of good content that will take things. Really getting to know the media, and it takes a little bit of time, but I think I've had more success being able to, pick up the phone after I've talked to, or sent out a press release and said, hey, just want to make sure you got that. Got any questions? Happy to answer that. But being able to have that relationship is so important.
Awesome, awesome. And so what I'm hearing Geo say is, and I think it's one of the biggest assets that everybody can have, is developing that media list. Just like they say, how many contacts do you have in your database? I think having that media list in place. So I always tell people, and I go through this, in the Media Magic book, is really developing, where do you want to be? And it's fairly simple to get publicity when you know how. It's starting in your local community. They're always looking for good news. They're always looking things that are stories that they can tell. And I've had, I just want to share a real quick story. I had somebody call me. It was a couple months ago. She went to the Business Acceleration Summit event and was sharing with her the power of free press. And she said, "Oh my gosh, I have this brain surgeon that's coming to town. I've invested all this money to have him come, and I'm not able to get people to my event. And can you help me?" And it was a Thursday night, and he was coming the following Saturday. And so, I looked over what she had, and I said, "Yeah, I can help you, but I can't. I'm not going to be able to guarantee. But if we follow this, there's a huge chance that you will be able to do this." And immediately, she, hired me Thursday night. By Friday, we had the press release done. We changed the language. It's like having that tagline that sizzles. That's one of the first things that, in language of capturing their attention, we changed it to brain surgeon shares. How to get the brain to work like Einstein, or something. I don't remember the exact language, but we use the word Einstein and brain function and brains, brain surgeon. So we tied in really key words to get it. And I'm definitely, like, one of the things I love, and this is why Geo and I are great, because I do a little different format on press releases, and he is a master at AP, which they look for. But we just put together a one-page press release and showed her the formula to contacting the media. By Monday, she had a confirmation they were going to print the article. By Tuesday, they had the article in the paper. By Thursday, and it was that Saturday, she was completely sold out, overbooked 10%. It had 60 seats, and was just a huge success. So definitely and she had no contacts in the media. So having those contacts, nurturing those relationships, puts you at an advantage, and it is an absolute asset. Build those. But if you work with somebody like Geo, who has, he has them in his Rolodex, then it can be advantageous to do that. But I think everybody needs to start building that. So any other questions? We're going to open this up. Let's see here. All right, so we have, oh boy, Geo. Oh, did we lose Jacqueline, or Jacqueline left? Geo, did you want to add anything else here? I'm checking multiple places for, we're here masterminding any goals or challenges. And goals could be, here's my business and I'm trying to figure out how to get into this association, or, get $10,000 residual a month income, any goal or challenge that you may have. All right, Geo, did you want to add anything about the publicity thing, or I'm still here looking at the...
I think
Okay,
no, it's just wow. All right, I don't know.
Is it giving you feedback? I have one person where they have to do the headset and the mic because it does a weird thing.
Yeah.
So I'm not getting any feedback. I can hear you fine.
Okay. Let me see. Just turn it down. Yeah, I've got a couple of different mics working. No, I mean it's where you've gone to is really about You know, the media being, I would never look at the media as like, oh, these are not people that would want to talk to me. That you know, why would my thing be important? The thing to remember is what you're doing is important. What you have as a business or organization is unique, and that you want to tell the story and be enthusiastic about it. You know, it's important to really, you know, shout it from the mountaintops when you've got good news, and be consistent with your news. You know, doing one press release and then going dark for months on end without some kind of backup, whether that be on social media or on your website. You know, I've gotten more responses by reporters who follow on Twitter than, you know, you put a tweet out and they catch it and something gets their attention. You know, there's a good chance they may call you instead, or give you you know, a message and say, hey, you know, I'm interested in this. So don't forget about all those different social media outlets that you really have to go by. Reporters spend a lot of time on Twitter. You're getting more of them on the streaming now that are following the streaming videos that are going out there, Periscope, Meerkat, and the others. And so, you know, as the day changes, so comes the new social media platform. But those guys really follow that. I find, at least in going out there pretty regularly, and they're becoming adept at that. You know, reporters before, you know, they tracked the story, they got the information. Now they've become multimedia experts themselves, and so they're looking in the same places where you should be posting that information.
Awesome, that's great. And anytime you can tie into existing news, that's a great thing. So I have another question here. The individual is asking about they're looking at doing an event, and they have been doing events in the past, have not had they've not had much success with getting a lot of people to the event, so they're looking for support. So what type of event is it? Is it a please share with us a little bit more, if you can, about that. One of the things that I know, and this is a struggling thing with events, is definitely, I'm going to go back to the number 2 thing is, well, both of them. It's like sharing with clearly and concisely who it is and what you're doing, and details about the event. Really being able to articulate the benefits to the people that you want to come. Also being able to joint venture and collaborate. Are there, you know, free press is a great opportunity, but, you know, if you have a marketing budget, you want to absolutely be working to, you know, to get it out there. But I've had people spend thousands of dollars on Facebook ads and marketing, and if the language is not clear or it hasn't been branded, then it can be a challenge to get people there. I personally, I think what we're doing right here is a great way to do events and kind of build that base. I love using the story of a gentleman that we were doing live events. He was coming here to my area. I loved his work, and it became, the profit margin was so small. And granted, I love live events. I'm going to share a live event where you can come together with lots of mentors and great things coming up. But we decided to move it online with an online platform. We really honed in on his language, and we were able to sell it out, make a higher profit margin. And with technology nowadays, there's so many different ways of doing events. So the language and partnering and really, you know, even getting people that have attended in the past, getting them to tell stories, getting them to share, maybe creating an affiliate program. Geo, do you want to add anything about events? They're a lot of work. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
They're a lot of work.
Well, you know, yeah, they're a ton of work. But, you know, the one thing that is again, it's rising above the noise. You know, there's so many different events that go on at any given point in time that you've really got to tell that compelling story. You've got to, you know, there's got to be a reason people are going to give up an evening or a weekend day to come out to an event. And I think that's really where you've got to sit down and go, okay, just like you said, you know, what's the benefit? What's really going to do that thing to me that's going to make me want to come out? You know, it could be anything from a car show, and if you're a car fan, then great. You know, I mean, easy to do. But if you're finding that you're raising awareness about a particular cause that's going on that you know, may or may not be rising to the top of mind, or it's been going on for years, and you've got to find something that's compelling. Why should people come out there? And don't be afraid to do shameless self-promotion. Find things that are different. Get a spin that's different. You know, if you've been doing the same thing for the last few years, and it's the, you know, that's the definition of insanity if you don't change it up and you get different results. So don't be afraid to try new things, and check in with the people who've been there. You know, what was their response, and what did they like about it? If they've been coming for a few years, then there's something that brings them there. Find out what that is from those people, and play on that. Conversely, you know, if somebody came once and you remember them and they haven't come for the last couple of years, check in with them and say, hey, you know, I noticed you haven't been here. You know, again, that's that PR, personal relations, where sometimes you've got to take a few minutes and reach out. And I know a lot of us are all stressed on time, but it's those little things that can make a big difference in what your results are.
Awesome. Yeah. And really testing, you know, again, something like this, like, I think this is a great feeder. Now, not only are we doing a wonderful thing to support people, which all the individuals that come in and out as far as mentors are passionate about, but doing something to engage people that's not going to cost a bunch of money at first is a great way to start building that list, engaging people, letting them see the content of kind of what you're delivering, and you know, starting to partner. I'm really big on partners. So I'm just going to share real quick, because we're getting at the top of the hour. Again, please, I'm going to be available a little bit longer if you want to put your website up, if you want me to market that to who's here. We are actually doing on June 22nd and June 23rd our 6th consecutive Mentor and Mastermind. It's a business acceleration summit. And this is a day and a half that will absolutely transform your business. We attract Fortune 100 experts. We've had individuals that have been on Oprah and Wall Street. The last one, we had the captain of the Disney ship, and they all come there and open their hearts, open their minds, and it's like a living, breathing business incubator, where you know, much different than an incubator, because a lot of incubators, okay, Monday we're going to meet with this person, and then the next day you're going to meet on this person. Well, what makes it so unique is that we are masterminding, and we are we are being certain that you're leaving there with transactions and with contacts, and all 4 of those things that I mentioned happen. Right now we have our early bird special until the 23rd of this month. So if you go to Business Acceleration Summit, Business Acceleration with an A, summit.com, you know, definitely plug in. You'll see some of the individuals that are coming to play with us. And there's, you know, this time we're having a media panel. We always have a pitch tank at the end where we give $5,000 in mentorship and resources and tools. And it's just a remarkable event and a great time, and we have raving fans, because people are literally coming there and accelerating their business. And part of why we kept doing this is because people are like, I want to keep plugging in, I want to get support for my business. So 2 weeks from today, so we skip this next Monday, we go to the following Monday, is our next Mastermind Hangout. And if you go to our fan page, you can start posting your goals or challenges there. You're more than welcome on there to post your elevator pitch. Share whatever it is. This is not have to be just live this time, but the people that post there or join live on the video, as this grows, they're the ones that we're going to focus on first, as far as giving them the support of the mastermind structure. So please mark your calendar. We're going to move it to 3:00 p.m. We have a wonderful attorney friend that wants to join us, and a lot of people are saying it's a little bit, this mid-time day is a little bit off, and I know, you know, it's in the middle of the day because we're entrepreneurs, but it'll be 3 o'clock 2 weeks from now. You can sign up at businessaccelerationsecrets.com. That's different than Summit, secrets.com. We'll have that up, you know, once this rotates out, you can sign up for the next one. With that, Geo, do you want to say anything about the event? I'd love people to hear, because I know you, I think you came to the 3rd or 4th one, and we're kind of blown away.
I think I was the 3rd and the 4th one.
Oh yeah, you've been to a few now.
Yeah. No, it's great. It's a great event. You get, you just have you walk out of there feeling like, okay, A, I'm not alone, and B, there are people that really do know and want to help, and you can really pick up some great, you know, relationships out of there. You can start building some, I should say. It's really a matter of getting there and then getting engaged. You know, one of the things that I would encourage is anybody who walks in there, you know, the first thing, and I love to network, but you walk into a room full of people you don't know, and first thing you want to do is either head to the bar, head to the food, and, you know, pass everybody up while you're trying to get there, instead of, you know, taking a minute, saying hi. Most people are in the same, a lot of people, in fact, are sometimes in the same boat, are just looking to meet people, so don't feel that you can't just jump right in. And then be engaged in not only the dinner and the evening, but get there for the second day and come to those presentations, get to meet the folks who are there, the presenters, because they're there. They've paid their way to come and spend time, and they're there. I mean, they set their schedule aside to be available, and they are willing to share what they know with you. And just the information I got from the first time, especially, and then the second time, was phenomenal. Just that little bit of time you spend with each person, they're going to leave you with some kind of nugget that you can take back with you.
Yeah, and what's beautiful, like you said, is that you're no longer alone. It's like having that sense of community. So I love what you brought up about engagement. So as you come and play with us, I invite you to definitely engage, because as you know, what you put into something is what you get out. We've had a lot of people coming in and out, and thank you, Jacqueline, for being courageous and stepping up and sharing who you are and what you're doing and how we can support you. Thank you, those of you that asked, you know, about events and team building and things like that. So hopefully we'd love feedback. Feel free to share this with your friends, family, anybody in business, and mark your calendar. Get your ticket today, June 22nd, June 23rd. When you look at the investment, most people flip over and go, it can't be that good at that price, because of, you know, we provide meals, we have Mastermind stuff that's happening. So, and this time we've got a remarkable lineup again of people there coaching. So with that, I will see you soon. Geo, thank you so much for your service, and I love always playing with you and all that you do.
My pleasure. Happy to be here. Look forward to the next.
Awesome. All right, everybody have a great day. Thank you, Facebook Live. That was so much fun. And all the Hangouts. You can go to facebook.com, Business Acceleration Summit. That's where we'll be doing it live from again in 2 weeks. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.